Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. Today we are reading the Madhya Lila, chapter 14, chapter entitled Performance of the Vrindavan Pastimes, text number 18. So please make a note that I'm not a Bengali. Probably I will pronounce this slokas like a little bit funny. Text number 18. Rājā kahe. How normally we do this? I read the full verse. Okay. Ami tomāra dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe mora. Something like bhṛtyera kahe mora. Okay. You please chant. Rājā kahe ami tomāra dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe mora. Rājā kahe ami tomāra dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe mora. Dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe mora. Rājā kahe ami tomāra dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe ami mora. Mataji? Any Mataji would like to give a try? Dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe mora. Rājā kahe ami tomāra dāsera anudāsa bhṛtyera kahe mora. Okay. Rājā kahe. The king said, Ami, I, tomāra, your, dāsera anudāsa, most obedient servant of your servants, bhṛtyera, servant of the servants, kara, make, me, this, mora asa, my desire. my past, I feel that I'm relieved now. Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The king replied, "My lord, I am the most obedient servant of your servants. It is my ambition that you will accept me as the servant of your servants." Kindly repeat. The king replied, "My lord, I am the most obedient servant of your servants. It is my ambition that you will accept me as the servant of your servants." Purport. The greatest achievement for a devotee is to become a servant of the servants of the Lord. Actually, no one should desire to become the direct servant of the Lord. That is not a very good idea. When Prahlāda Mahārāja was offered a benediction by Nṛsiṁhadeva, Prahlāda rejected all kinds of material benedictions, but he prayed to become the servant of the servants of the Lord. When Dhruva Mahārāja was offered a benediction by Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, Dhruva could have asked for unlimited material opulence, but he simply asked for the benediction of becoming the servant of the servants of the Lord. Kholāvecā Śrīdhara was a very poor man, but when Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu wanted to give him a benediction, he also prayed to the Lord to be allowed to remain a servant of the servants of the Lord. The conclusion is that being the servant of the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the highest benediction one can desire. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panglunglam Hayate Girim Yat Kripatamahang Bande Shri Gurundinatharanam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Caitanya Ishwaram Katanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Viparitam Shyat Shri Caitanya Namamitam. Hare Krishna. So this is actually the continuation of the pastime after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstasy during the Ratha Yatra procession. So he was dancing with all his devotee associate in the front of Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra's chariot. So what happened after you dance so much? You feel tired, right? So right after that, actually Lord Jagannath's chariot was stopped, and devotees like offering some different items to the Lord. And taking this opportunity, Lord Chaitanya went to the Jagannath garden just to take rest, and he was like laying down on the raised platform. So the king of Jagannath Puri, King Prataparudra, was having like long desire that how can he get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he was a king. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not incline to get in touch with him personally. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu know that the king was a pure devotee because of his status being a king. So normally kings like full of opulence, enjoyment. So that was the principle. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't want to directly associate with the king. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was laying down in the garden, So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told the king, now you should change your dress and dress just like normal people. You know? Well, we can't cheat the Lord, right? We cannot cheat the Lord, but that was part of his pastimes. So taking the advice of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, King Prataparudra changed his dress just like ordinary citizens. And then he went to meet the Lord and offer his obeisances and give massage to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First, he started with his lotus feet. So as he was giving the massage, so he started to recite it. He started to recite the Gopi Gita, yeah, from the first verse. And then when the king reached the verse number 9, yeah, Tava Kata Amrita Tapta Jivanam Kavibiriditam Kalmasapahas Sravana Mangalam Srimad Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhuridajana. Immediately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up. He was in ecstasy. And then he asked, like, repeat again, repeat again. So both of them finally repeating the same slokas. They were in ecstasy. They were crying, rolling, hugging each other. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying, oh, you have done so much for me. You know, you have done so much for me. How merciful you are. Because this sloka from the Gopi Gita is actually describing the generosity of the devotees who preach Krishna consciousness. Yeah? Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhuridajana. There is no one in the world more munificent than the devotees who preach Krishna consciousness. Yeah? Tava Katamrita Tapta Jivanam. And the glorification of Lord Krishna, the pastime of the Lord, is actually the Tapta Jivanam, is the life and soul for the devotees and gives so much relief for all the conditioned souls who are suffering, who are burning in the material world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, upon hearing this sloka, like, he was so much into ecstasy. And finally he asked the king, so who are you? Who are you? And today's verse was the reply. Yes. I'm not going to read the Bengali verse. So the king replied, my lord, I'm the most obedient servant of your servants. It is my ambition that you will accept me as the servant of your servants. Srila Prabhupada's purport is straight to the point. How many times we hear Srila Prabhupada in this purport mentioning that we should be always become the servant of the servants of the Lord, one after another, giving different example here, starting from Prahlāda Mahārāja, Dhruva Mahārāja, and then Kholāvecā Śrīdhara. So all of these great devotees giving us the example that what should we ask? What should we ask if someone would say, okay, now ask any benediction. What do you want? Yeah? We should be just like this, you know. I just want to be the servant of the servants of the Lord. Yeah? Sometimes we may think that, of course, we are Krishna's devotee, we have to serve the Lord, but there is a bridge between us and Krishna, and that is the devotees, the Vaishnavas. Yeah? Yeme bhakta jana parta, name bhaktas chate janaha, mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas teme bhaktat tamo mataha. This is from the Adi Purana, where Lord Krishna mentioned to Arjuna, Yeme bhakta jana parta, name bhaktas chate janaha. Those who are claiming to be my direct devotee is not actually my devotee. Mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas teme bhaktat tamo mataha. But my opinion, whoever the servant of my devotees, he is actually my real devotees. Yeah, so that is the principles. We should somehow or other adopt this mood. Yeah, so we should adopt this mood. And there are so many evidences that actually Srila Prabhupada talks so much about serving the devotees, and he, Srila Prabhupada, exemplified through his own personal example. In the early days of ISKCON, yeah, Srila Prabhupada would invite people to the Sunday feast program, and he would cook. He would serve, not even devotees, just all these hippies. He would serve personally. And you know what? He would wash their dirty plates. Our founder Acharya washing the dirty plate of all these hippies. Yeah. So that should be the mood. And actually later on in this chapter, so what happened after this? There will be great feast. So the king arranged so much prasadam from the Jagannath Mandir. And what happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would personally serve the devotees. And all these devotees, they were like so perplexed that, no, we can't eat now. Oh my Lord, unless you sit down and eat, we will not eat. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was, he would serve all these devotees. Yeah. And then finally, upon the request of the devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sit and then honor the Jagannath Prasadam. And what happened? Because there was so much prasadam, it is described that Lord Jagannath's hand never get dry. Yeah, he keeps eating, yeah, one after another, you know. So Lord Jagannath's hand never get dry. Washing the hand after having his meal, again, another meal coming up. So that's the opulence, yeah, of Lord Jagannath. Well, he's the Lord of the universe. So there is so much prasadam left. And then what to do now? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered the devotees, you feed all the beggars. Yeah. Upon seeing the devotees distributing the prasadam to all these beggars, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so much enjoying the scene, and then he chanted, Haribol! Yes, and then he was dancing in ecstasy. So, coming back to this point, that I personally have some challenge that I feel that sometimes I don't want to serve some particular devotees, being honest, you know, or somehow or other, yeah. But what to do now? For example, if somebody have hurt you, how would you deal with such a devotee? Well, unless if you really trinarapi suni chena, you know, really humble, then doesn't matter whether that devotee have offended me, that devotee have hurt me, still I have to serve. Yeah. But to develop this kind of consciousness is not at all easy. Yeah. But through the process of the chanting of the holy names, so our heart becomes purified. So that is the Chetodarpana Marjanam. Our heart becomes purified and softened. There is actually correlation between the chanting of the holy name and serving the Vaishnava, how to become humble. Unless you are become really humble, you cannot chant the holy name constantly. And how to become humble, of course, you have to serve the devotees, putting yourself in the lower position. But how to develop that attitude is by constantly chanting the holy name, because the holy name himself will purify your heart. Yeah. Tadasmasaram hridayam batedam yadgrihyamanayair harinamadeyahi na vikriyetata yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruhe suhar saha. Yeah. So netre jalam gatra ruhe suhar saha. Why, after so many years, we are chanting the holy name? There is no tears flowing on our eyes, from our eyes. Netre jalam gatra ruhe suhar saha. Why the hair of my body is not standing on? What's going on here? Yeah, this is from the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. Because tad asmasaram haridayam batedam. Haridayam batedam means our heart is steel frame. Yeah. Like a picture, but our heart is with the iron frame. We cannot feel the presence of Krishna while chanting the holy name. That's why we still don't cry. Yeah? So Srila Prabhupada, in the purport to that verse, explaining very nicely, one of the reasons why we don't feel the ecstasy while chanting of the holy names, it could be we still committing some offenses. against the holy name, especially the first one. Yeah? To commit, to blaspheme the devotees. Yeah, who try, especially who try to preach Krishna consciousness. We should be very careful in dealing with the devotees. Again, I'm saying maybe it's not at all easy to always being humble. Yeah? It's not at all easy. Sometimes when, in some kind of situation, I do really feel that I'm not at all humble. Somehow or other. Yeah? But Krishna would again and again, he would make some kind of arrangement by which, if you are sincere, by which you will become humble. And you think, yes, oh Krishna, yes, I'm not what I thought. So, Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudāsa. That is the principle. Because by serving the devotees, Krishna is much more pleased rather than we try to serve Krishna himself. Yeah? And ultimately, serving the pure devotees such as gurus is so potent, actually, in order to develop this attitude. Yeah? We may think that, okay, I want to serve Radharani because she is the closest associates of Lord Krishna. Yeah? In fact, actually, in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described, Anaya radito nonam bhagavan harir ishvaraha yanno vihaya govinda pritoyam anayad rahaha. Amongst all the devotees, who's the best? The gopis. Amongst all the gopis, who's the best? Aradhita. Aradhita is Radharani herself. Yeah? Throughout the Bhagavatam, we will not find the word Radha because Sukadeva Goswami cannot tolerate the ecstasy, otherwise he would fall unconscious and stop the narration of the Bhagavatam. So instead of mentioning her names directly, so Sukadeva Goswami used the word Aradhita, means the best of the worshipper of Lord Hari. Yanno vihaya govindam pritoyad anayad rahaha. During this rasa dance, so Lord Krishna took only Srimati Radharani in the secluded place and left all other gopis. So we may think, okay, Radharani is the best devotee, she is the closest associate of Lord Krishna, I have to be the direct servant of Radharani. No, not that easy. But how to serve Radharani? Through our spiritual master. Yeah, because he would offer our service to his guru, and then his guru will offer to his guru, and just like that, and finally it goes to Radharani's hand, and Radharani would present that service to Krishna. Okay, Krishna, this devotee would love to give you this kind of particular service. Please accept. Yeah, Satyam Satyam Puna Satyam Satyam Eva Puna Punaha Vinaradha Prashadena Matprasado Navidyate. Yeah, this is from the Narada Purana. Lord Krishna himself was telling Narad Muni directly, Satyam Satyam Puna Satyam. Satyam Eva Puna Punaha. Now hear this truth. Again, I would like to tell you, hear this truth. What is the truth? Vinaradha Prashadena. Without getting the mercy of Radharani, Matprasado Navidyate. Someone cannot get my mercy. So that Radharani's mercy can be obtained when we sincerely serve our spiritual master, when we sincerely serve all other devotees. And actually that's the best thing in life, to serve the devotees. Yeah? When you get the chance to serve the devotees, don't feel hesitate. Yeah? No matter what, don't feel hesitate. Just take it. Just take the opportunity. Serve the devotees in any possible way. Yeah? Because that is actually the key of our success in Krishna consciousness. Yeah? That is the key of our success. When the devotees recommend us to Krishna, our business is success. Yeah, that was it. Serving the devotees is the key. How we can get the taste to chant the holy name, how we can get the taste to perform our sadhana. We should keep our sadhana, our japa, our reading with our service attitude. Yeah, serving the devotees. That's all. Our today's discussion is just culminate to this point. How can we serve the devotees? Yeah. Even great personalities, yeah, such as Uddhava himself, would aspire the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees, the gopis. Yeah. If Krishna would come to you personally and ask you, if I give you a chance to live in Goloka Vrindavan, what would you like to be? Oh, Mataji, you want to become the small gopis? You want to become the manjari? Yeah. Oh, Prabhu, you want to become the gopas probably. Yeah. But what Uddhava said, Asam aho charanarenu jisam aham shyam vrindavanam kimapi gulmalatau shadinam yadustyajam swajanam aryapatam chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim srutibir vimrigya. Uddhava said, Latau aushadi. I just want to become the grass, the herbs, the creeper in Vrindavan. He doesn't think that, okay, I'm Krishna's cousin. If you ask me this question, of course I will become one of the gopas. Yes? But he just I want to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Why? Charanarenu jusam aham shyam. In order to get the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. Because when they play in the grove of Vrindavan, so the gopis would step on the grass. And Uddhava is aspiring to get that dhuli on his head. Why? Because yadustyajam swajanam aryapatam. That's the qualification of the gopis. Yeah, the gopis would give up everything for Krishna without second thought. Yadustyajam. Tyajam means to give up. What is the most difficult thing to give up in our life? Family. If one of your family members gets sick, you would spend your entire money just to save that person in order to keep that person remain alive. That much is our attachment to our family members. Yadustyajam swajana. The gopis easily give up their family members upon hearing Krishna's flute. Yeah, Krishna would play his flute in the middle of the night in the forest of Vrindavan. Some gopis who are feeding their own child just left the child. Some gopis who are serving their husband just left the husband. This should not be imitated. Yeah, this should not be imitated. Okay? Yadustyajam swajanam aryapatam chahitvam. This is not at all civilized. Aryapata means the path of the Aryans, the path followed by civilized people. But externally, if we see, can you imagine if a woman left her husband for another man? That is not at all Aryapata. Yeah? But the gopis is showing this example because of Krishna. That's the qualification. Bejur mukunda padavim srutibir vimrigya. In one hand, there are so many munis, so many rishis performing tapasya, studying the Vedas for millions of years. Hardly they can attain the mercy of Krishna, just like how the gopis attain the mercy of Mukunda. Yeah? So Uddhava was aspiring just to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan in order to get the mercy of the gopis. So that should be our aspiration, that should be our meditation. How can we serve the devotees of the Lord? Yeah, because again, that is the key of our success in practicing Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. We have about 10 minutes. Whether anybody would like to add something or any point need to be discussed. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. You mentioned one very interesting point about how we have to keep the mood of being servant of servant, but sometimes some devotee, we feel that, no, I don't feel that servant of servant mood. Now, I don't want to raise any controversy, but what happens if that said devotee, it may be a normal devotee, and we may be serving him, but suddenly, unfortunately, he falls down. Then this mood of what should be our mood, it becomes all fault finding, and then that servant of servant mood goes away.
Yeah.
So what should be our mood, and how do we go with this situation?
Very nice question. Yes. Sometimes we might be in such a situation that we respect one devotee so much, and then out of the sudden, let's say, he falls down from his practice. Then naturally, what comes up in our mind is that, no, he's falling down. I don't want to serve him anymore. But in order to avoid Vaishnava aparad, so I would suggest that you just keep some distance to that devotee and respect him from far. You don't have to necessarily closely associate with such a devotee, yeah, because your mind is still disturbed. Well, unless you are pure devotee, you will not see the fault. But it is natural, I would say, that if we see some devotees deviating, for example, naturally we have this inclination to withdraw ourselves back. But if we really intelligent enough as devotees, so we still see and appreciate what the devotee's good qualities. Srila Prabhupada would do this, One time, one of Srila Prabhupada's sannyas disciples, no need to mention the name, fell down from his position of being sannyas. And after some time, Srila Prabhupada called him and re-awarded to him position of being a sannyas and asked him to be one of the temple manager in Japan in order to solve some, difficult situation, because Srila Prabhupada could see that this devotee have this quality and have this expertise. Yeah, as Chanakya Pandit mentioned, that you still can pick up the gold even from a filthy place. So we have to become like the swan. If you mix water and milk and you give to the swan will be able just to drink the milk. So if we see some devotees deviating, but if we still see that devotee is sincerely practicing again, Yakshipram bhavati dharmatma sasvachantim nigachati konteya pratijanihi nabe bhakta pranasanti. As the verdict of the Shastra mentioned like that, so we still have to respect the devotee, even if we don't have the inclination to serve that particular devotees anymore. Don't criticize him and respect him from far if you cannot associate with him peacefully. Because honestly speaking, sometimes our mind becomes disturbed. Yeah? But if we see that devotee practicing again nicely Krishna consciousness, sincerely, what does sincere means? Practicing sincerely means even after you fall down, you will take up again the practice and never commit the same mistake. That's sincerity. But if you do the same mistake again and again, your apology has no meaning. So that's it. If you cannot associate closely, respect him from far and don't criticize. Because Maya is so strong, hopefully not, but at any time, that may happen to us also. That may happen to me also. So be careful, yeah? And we don't really know what is going on actually, what struggle he has, that particular devotee has. Rather, just pray for him. That's the best thing, yeah? Of course, we have to be a little picky with whom we should associate. That's very important, because based on with whom we associate, it will build our character, yeah? But at the same time, none of our business to criticize. As in the previous class I have mentioned to you, if you are not his friend or his authority, so we better just respect that particular devotee from distance. And if you don't want to associate, you better not, yeah? Only his authority, his mentor, has the full right to chastise him or whatever, yeah? So that's my humble opinion on this. Hare Krishna. We have another 5 minutes. Anybody would like to add something? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for wonderful class. I'm just contemplating about the previous verse we discussed the day before yesterday. It was the moment when the king was committing and doing the menial service, yeah, just sweeping the floor for the deities. So I'm just thinking how we can connect these two, the most important things we can do. So what is the relationship between our direct service to the Lord and our service to the servants of the Lord?
Yes.
Can you just explain a little bit more?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice question. That actually, every service that we do, there is always connection between we, the devotees, and Krishna. You give the example like we are sweeping the floor of the temple. We may think that I'm serving Radha Madhava directly by cleaning this temple. But actually, that's more into devotee service. Because if the temple is dirty, devotee feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I remember when I joined the Brahmacharya ashram in 2011. So my mentor asked me to do this service, you know, cleaning the floor in the temple, washing the dish in the kitchen, and cleaning the toilet. Because I was new, you know. I didn't take it as a bully. I somehow or other, honestly, I was enjoying that service, you know. And then I was thinking like, okay, I'm cleaning this for Krishna, I'm washing this dish in the kitchen. And then, okay, now it comes to cleaning the toilet. Oh, Krishna. But then one of my god sister told me that actually, at that time my name was Hari. Bhakta Hari. So Hari, actually, you are serving all the devotees by cleaning this dish in the kitchen. Because actually there is a rule. After you offer the bhoga to the Lord, before you wash the plate of the Lord and all these cup and bowls, you can't eat. The devotees can't eat the prasadam. So the Lord's plate, the Lord's bowls, the Lord's cups should be cleansed first. So that was my daily service. So when I was in the kitchen washing all these plates, bowls, and cups, you know, my god sister came and she said that actually you are serving all these brahmacharis here, because if you don't wash it, they cannot start having the prasadam. So in that way, there is always correlation between what our service between us, the devotees, and Krishna. There is always cleaning the floor, especially, like, it's great, because if you don't clean the floor, the devotees will feel uncomfortable. They may not be inclined to come to take darshan of the Lord. So just like that. And what else? Like, cleaning the bathroom. Yes, it's like so great. Cleaning the bathroom. And what else? Like, there's always offering arati. How is that connected? Because you are serving your Guru also through performing the arati to Krishna. Yeah, you are actually representing your Guru. Yeah, therefore the pujari. I don't know how many of you here taking the Didi worship course here. There is part of the puja. It's known as the purvanga karma. Before you start serving the deities directly, let's say before you perform the abhishek. So there is purvanga karma starting from achamana, and then you do the asana stapana, and you do the manasa puja. How you do the manasa puja? Starting from worshipping the spiritual master. And then you chant all these prayers, yeah. Naham vipro nachanara patinapi vaishuna sudra naham varni nachagriha patir navanasto yatirva kintu prodyan nikila paramananda purnamritabder gopi bhartu pada kamalayor dāsa anudāsa. Even before worshipping the deities, you think that you are directly now, I will bathe Shishi Gornitai. No, first of all, you ask permission from your spiritual master. Arati also like that, you know. Jai Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Śrī Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Gaura Premanande, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.